Next one, we have here also the study of Sir Jonathan Edwards' family tree. Okay, so dito naman, tinignan nila yung family ni Sir Jonathan Edwards. So, sino itong si Jonathan Edwards? So, isa siyang preacher. Okay, actually, during the colonial period when his family tree was traced. Okay, so tinignan nila yung mga descendants niya. So, none of the descendants was found to be criminal. Okay, so yun. And on the other hand, many become presidents, United States governors, and members of Supreme Court, famous writers, and preachers and teachers also. Okay, so if you are going to take a look with the studies, okay, of those families, okay, the study of the Martin Kallikak, study of the Ada Duke family, and then we have here the Sir Edward family tree. Okay, so if you are going to compare, makikita nyo, or ito yung mga naging defense nila, kaya nasabi nila na criminality. Okay, criminality is somewhat being inherited, okay, from the ascendants. Okay, namamana. Kaya nasabi nila na namamana ang criminal behavior. It's because of these studies of the families of Martin Kallikak, Ada Duke, and Sir Jonathan Edwards. So, ito yung pinaka-popular na mga studies with regards to heredity of criminal behavior. Okay, so next one, we have here the psychoanalytic and psychiatric factors naman. Okay, so kanina, natapos na tayo sa geographical factors and biological factors. This time, let us talk about the psychoanalytic and psychiatric factors. So, nandito naman yung mentality. Okay, mentality and analysis of the mindset, okay, or the mind of a person. So, if we are pertain to psychoanalytic, okay, it is defined the analysis of human mind. Okay, paano kaya nagfa-function yung human mind? Paano na-interpret ng ating utak yung messages na nare-receive natin, yung mga feelings, yung mga emotions, or yung mga nakikita natin. Okay, paano ini-interpret ng mind natin yan? So, that is being talked about under psychoanalytic, okay? Analysis of human mind, paano nagfa-function. And then we have here the psychiatry. It is defined as the study of human mind, okay? The study of human mind, nandyan yung parts, okay? Tinitignan natin ano yung function ng parts na yun, okay? Ini-study natin the parts of the human mind, okay? Human brain and others. Pero just take note dyan sa psychoanalytic, the analysis of human mind. How does it function? Okay? Paano niya ini-interpret yung mga nasa-sense natin na mga bagay-bagay. Okay? So, that is the difference between psychoanalytic and psychiatric factors. Okay? And then we have here various studies of human behavior and mind in relation to the causes of crimes. Meron po tayo dito. According to August Acorn. Okay? So, August Acorn, okay? So, nandyan po yung book niya, Wayward Youth in 1925. He said that what is the reason of delinquency in crime? So, ano ba daw yung reason nun? So, it's because of the faulty development of the child, okay, during the first few years of his life. So, simply tinutukoy niya dito yung maling pagpapalaki ng mga magulang, okay? Maling paggabay ng mga magulang during their childhood, okay? So, yan yung nakikita ni August Acorn na reason kung bakit nagiging criminal yung isang tao paglaki niya. Okay, it's because of the childhood. So, actually, may punto naman siya, di ba? If you are going to observe, okay, kung mali yung pagpapalaki ng magulang during the earlier age, okay? So, if you observe, inispoil ka ng parent mo during your first few years, okay? Nung bata ka pa, usually, mahirap nang baguhin yung attitude mo or mahirap ka nang sawayin, okay? Kasi, yun na yung nakasanayan mo nung bata ka pa. So, that is one reason din. Okay, yan yung isang nakita ni August Acorn, kaya nasabi niya, faulty development of the child is one of the reason of criminality. Okay, so yan lang naman yung nasabi ni August Acorn dito. So, another one we have here also, Abraham David. Okay, and he is popular in his book Crime and Human Mind in 1945. Okay, so ano naman yung na-mention dito ni Abraham David, or Abrahamsen David. Okay, so nandito he explained that criminal behavior can be calculated using this formula. So, meron siyang ginawang formula in order to compute criminal behavior. So, pwede daw nating makompute through this formula yung criminal behavior ng isang tao. Okay, or gaano katindi ba yung criminal behavior ng isang tao. So, nandyan, CB equals CT plus CIS divided by MERT. Okay, so anong ibig sabihin ng CB? So, we are pertaining to criminal behavior. So, anong formula daw niyan or paano makukumpyat? Paano natin mahahanap yan? So, through adding CT, okay? Adding CT and CIS. So, CT stands for criminal tendency and then CIS, crime-inducing situation. Okay? So, pag-add natin yun and divide natin sa mental and emotional resistance. Okay? So, yung lalabas dyan na number, that is the equivalent of criminal behavior. So, yan yung formula ni Abrahamsen David. Okay, next one we have here, Cyril Burt naman. Okay, so, in his book, Young Delinquent, that is published, okay, or it became popular in 1925. So, he introduced the theory of general emotionality. So, what is under general emotionality? So, it says here, according to him, many offenses can be traced instinctively drive. Okay, an excess of submissive instinct account for the tendency of many criminals to be weak-willed or easily led. Okay, fear and absconding may be due to the impulse of being feared. Callous type of offender may be due to the tendency in the primitive emotion of love and an excess of instinct of hate. Okay, so nandito naman nasabi niya dyan, na-emphasize niya yung emotion of love and excess in the instinct of hate. So, nandito na yung crimes by passion na sinasabi natin. Okay? So, usually, na-mention ni Cyril Burt dyan, one causes of criminality is because of the instinctively drives na yun. Katulad ng love. Okay? Hate. Okay? So, sometimes, it's because you love that certain person. Okay? You extremely love that certain person. Sobrang mahal na mahal mo yung tao. And then yun, one reason or in instances na hindi niya sinuklian yung pagmamahal. Actually, that leads you, the love will turn into extreme jealousy or extreme anger. Okay? So yun, that drives you or that motivates you to become violent sometimes. Okay? So another one, instinct of hate. So yun, sometimes dahil sa hindi kanya sinagot, okay, yung love na yun, it turns also into hate. Okay, so yun, it's because of the reason that you hated him already or hated her already. That's the reason sometimes you commit a crime. Okay, nagkukos yan or nag-i-impulse yan or tinutulak kanya para gumawa ng violent acts or gumawa ng masama. Okay, so that is the study of Cyril Burt naman. Okay, and then we have here Haley. Under his study individual delinquency, he claimed that crime is an expression of mental content, emotional discomfort. Ito naman daw, okay, doing of bad things or crimes is a way kung paano natin ma-express yung naiisip natin, okay, or discomfort sa isipan natin, okay, hindi maganda yung pinagdadaanan natin, okay, hindi masyadong or sabihin natin yung isip natin gulong-gulo. Okay, so that is the reason daw or one reason daw or one way kung paano natin ma-express or kung paano natin mailalabas yun is to the commission of crime. So yun yung nakikita ni Haley. Okay, so commission of crime is because of the emotional or that is the way of the person to show his or to express what is inside of his mind. Okay? Kung ano yung naiisip niya actually. Okay? Or ano yung kaguluhan na nangyayari dun sa isipan niya. Okay? So, personality demands of pain and pain is eliminated by substitute behavior which is delinquency of the individual. Okay? So, sometimes pumapasok na dito yung crimes against property. Okay? Wherein, hindi na-mention dyan yung substitute behavior or substitution wherein sobrang galit na galit ka, okay? Or sobrang gulong-gulo na yung isipan mo. Sometimes, ang ginagawa mo, naninira ka ng mga gamit. Pinagtatapon mo na kung anong malapit sa'yo na gamit dyan, tinatapon mo, sinisira mo, and then pinagtutuunan mo ng pansin or bubuntanan mo ng galit mo, okay? Or sinusuntok mo yung mga gamit dyan. So, that is one reason or yan yung na-express ni Haley or nasasabi ni Haley na criminality or criminal acts are expression of what is being felt or the mental content emotional discomfort of the person. Okay, so that is under individual delinquency. And then nandito naman si Bromberg, okay, in his book Crime and the Mind that was published in 1948, nandyan po yung he claimed that criminality is the result of emotional immaturity. Okay, so take note, immaturity, not immunity. Okay, immaturity, nandito po tayo or nandyan na po yung sinasabi niya, an emotionally immature person is usually yan yung mga emotions ng mga bata. Okay, or ma-observe mo sa mga bata. Okay, so emotional immaturity yung mga characteristics or mga emotions na nakikita mo sa mga bata. Nagiging iyakin. Okay, masyadong iyakin, konting bagay lang iyakin. Okay, another one, rebellious act. Okay, rebellious act in a way na kapag, di ba, sometimes kapag pinagalitan mo yung bata, okay, naiinis sa'yo. Okay, maiinis sa'yo. Aside from maiinis, lalong magwawala. Sometimes, magwawala. Okay, hindi magagalit yung iba. I mean, kung hindi man magagalit, mas lalo pa siyang magre-rebelde sa'yo. Okay, so, yun, he said, or he relate, that is, in a way na may relate natin yung sinabi ni Bromberg. Okay, criminality is the result of emotional immaturity of a person. Okay? Or pagiging rebellious, pagiging masyadong, sabihin natin, immature yung emotion ng tao. Okay? Or emotion ng bata yung tinataglay niya. Okay? So, yun, napaka-simpleng bagay. Okay? Sometimes, hindi niya ma-accept. Okay? Hindi niya nakukuha yung mga gusto niya. Okay? Or hindi binigay sa kanya yung gusto niya. Hindi naibigay yung gusto niya. Parang sa bata, hindi natin naibigay yung gusto niya. Anong ginagawa? Umiiyak, nagdadabog, pinagsisira kung anong pwede niyang mapunit dyan or mga gamit. Binabato niya sa parents. Okay? Parang ganun. Okay? So, hindi niya nakuha yung gusto niya. Kaya anong ginagawa? Gumagawa ng krimen in order na makuha niya. Okay? Nakawin na lang ng bagay. Okay, hindi binigay sa kanya, na nakawin na lang niya. So, that is one way na we can show the emotional immaturity of the person. So, that is the reason or that is the theory of Bromberg. Okay, and then we have here Sigmund Freud naman. Okay, popular in in the study of psychology also si Sigmund Freud. So, nandito, we are going to have here the psychoanalytical theory of Sigmund Freud. So, nandito yung id, ego, and then the superego. So, this was written in his book, The Ego and the Id, that was popularly known in 1927. Okay, so nandito psychoanalytical theory of human personality and crimes, okay, or psychoanalytic theory. So, now let us try to focus on the three divisions of the mind according to Sigmund Freud. So, number one na po dito yung tinawag niya, the id, and then the second one, the ego, and then the third one is the superego. So, dito sa id, na-express or na-emphasize po ni Sigmund Freud dito yung pleasure principle. Okay, so ano nga ba dito? Tignan muna natin. Where does or when does the id, okay, mind of a person or the id occurs? So, it was mentioned by Sigmund Freud, it occurs usually or it is present at birth already. Okay, so ano ba yung tinutukoy kasi ng id? So, nandito po yung impulses and instincts of social drives na meron po tayo. Okay, na sinasabi natin. So, ano yun? Okay, so we have actually the instinct, okay, to fulfill our needs. Okay, so paano yun? So, yun, pag nagutom, if you observe a child, di ba, kapag nagugutom siya, usually anong ginagawa? Umiiyak. Okay, it's because the instinct na kailangan na nating kumain. Okay, or we need to fulfill. Okay, kailangan na nating i-fulfill yung pangangailangan ng ating katawan. Okay, the instinct. So, paano yan kapag na-deprive tayo? Okay, na hindi kumain? Usually, wala hindi tayo mapakali. Okay, so hahanap tayo ng paraan in order na tayo ay makakuha ng pagkain. Okay, just like the way na ginagawa ng bata. Okay, so gutom na siya, nandyan na yung instinct to fulfill the need. So, anong ginagawa? Hindi titigil ng pag-iyak. Okay, so yun, kapag pinakain ng mother, okay, binigyan ng gatas ng mother, that's the time he achieved the pleasure. Okay, so yun, na-reach na yung pleasure. Okay, nakakuha siya ng pleasure. That's why tumigil na yung pag-iyak niya. Okay, or we achieve pleasure if those needs were those needs were being given, okay, to us, or being fulfilled to us. Okay, so another instincts that we have the instinct to survive. Okay, so in a way na yun, nasa alanganin yung buhay natin. So anong ginagawa natin usually? Okay, so yun, merong aso na humahabol sa'yo, you have the instinct to protect yourself. So anong ginagawa mo po? Tumatakbo ka sometimes. Yung iba nilalabanan yung aso, or yung iba nakikipag-away, nakikipagkagatan na dun sa aso. It's because we have the instinct to survive. Okay, or nandyan, mahulog ka na sa bangin. Okay, o yun, you have the instinct to survive. So anong ginagawa mo usually kapag ikaw ay nahulog sa bangin? Hahanap ka ng hawakan mo, okay? Or hahanap ka ng remedy na hahawakan mo, or mahahablot mo, okay? In order for you not to be, or not to reach the ground. Okay? So another one, as we grow older, okay, lumalabas na din dyan yung sexual drives natin, or sexual instincts natin. Okay? And then others. So napakarami yung instincts na meron tayo actually. Instinct to survive, instincts to fulfill our needs, okay, sexual instincts, and then death instincts. So takot tayong mamatay actually. That's why we protect ourselves. Automatic na yan. Okay? And then we have here now na-mention din dito sa id yung pleasure principle. Okay? So usually dito sa id, focus lang, it is more focus only. Okay? This is the part of the mind which is focus only on pleasures. Okay? Pleasures lang yung gusto niya. Okay? Yung satisfaction. Okay? Kaya dito, na-emphasize dito yung attitude of selfishness, violence, and anti-social wishes are part of the original instinct of man. Kaya, nandito, okay, in order to balance the id, kasi dito sa id, sabi natin, nakafocus lang siya sa pleasure principle, nandito na yung ego, okay? So, sa ego naman, ang sinasabi dito is the decision making. Okay? Or nandito yung reality principle. In a way na, parang ito yung nagko-consider ng bawat factors, or decision maker. Okay? Paanong decision maker? Kasi doon sa id, nasabi natin, gusto na lang yan is the pleasure. Okay? I-achieve yung pleasure. Hindi niya kino-consider yung mga ways kung paano niya i-achieve yung pleasure na yun. Sabihin natin yung pleasure to, sabihin natin sa pagmamahal. Okay? With regards to the need of love. Okay? So, yun, gusto ng id, ma-reach yung pagmamahal na yun. Okay? Or makuha niya yung pagmamahal na yun in order to fulfill pleasure. Hindi niya kino-consider yung paraan. Okay? Kung paano niya ma-achieve yun. So, yun, kung walang ego, let us try to eradicate ego. Okay? I-set aside natin yung ego. With regards to id, okay? So, sabihin natin, let us use an example at two person. Okay? Or sabihin natin si Miss Shara and then Mr. Raymond. Okay? So, sabihin natin si Mr. Raymond, gustong-gusto niya. He is in love with Miss Shara. Okay? So, yun, to simply show the id there is Mr. Raymond likes Shara. Okay? So, he loves Shara. So, yun, hindi niya, mahal na mahal niya si Shara. So, yun, since mahal na mahal niya si Shara, ginagawa niya lahat ng gusto niya upang magustuhan siya ni Shara. Okay? So, yun, kahit sabihin natin ayaw ni Shara si Raymond. So, anong ginagawa niya? Since gusto niya si Shara, still, gumagawa siya ng krimen. Sabihin natin, pinipuwersa niya si Shara para siya ay mahalin din ni Shara. Okay? Para mahalin din ni Shara si Raymond. Okay? So, yun, gumagawa ng krimen, nagiging violent. Okay? Pinipuwersa si Shara. Okay? Or in short, dinadaan sa santong paspasan. Okay? And then now, isama na natin sa ego. So now, basta yun, gusto lang ni Raymond. Okay? Yung pleasure, ma-achieve yung love ni Shara. So yun, nandito na si ego. So yun, ipapasok natin sa ego, siya na yung decision maker dito. Parang referee yung role niya. So anong gagawin na ego? Okay? Or anong nandito sa ego? The ego part of our mind. So, magdi-decision siya. So, tama ba itong ginagawa ko? Okay, nandito na yung tanungan. Tama lang ba yung ginagawa kong to? Gusto kong mahalin ako ni Shara, pero yun inaabuso ko siya. Okay, so tama lang ba yung pang-aabuso na ginagawa or tama lang ba yung pamamaraan ko in order to achieve that pleasure? Okay, so nandito na yung ego. Okay, so yun yung ginagawa ng ego, parang decision maker or reality decision making principle. Okay, so yan yung role ni ego. So decision making, pinagde-decidean niya kung ano yung tama, ano yung mali. Okay, or siya yung namimili. Okay, nagde-decide ng mga consequences. Okay, nag-iisip ng mga consequences. And then nandito naman yung pangatlo, the super ego. Ito naman si super ego, ito yung tinutukoy niya yung conscience ng tao, konsensya. Okay, the conscience part of the mind of a person. Okay, so nandyan, sabihin natin si ego, naisipan ni ego, okay lang to. So long as mamahalin din ako, parang umagri siya dun sa illegal way. Okay, in order to achieve the love of Shara. Okay, so yun, napili niya yung illegal act. Okay, so yun, kahit na na-determine niya na mali yun, yun pa rin yung ginawa niya. Okay, or pinustro niya. So, yun, papasok naman dyan si super ego. Okay? So, ito naman yung conscience. So, yun, wag mong gawin yan. Parang meron dun sa bumubulong sa isipan natin, yun yung super ego na tinutukoy nila. Wag mong gawin yan. Pag ginawa mo yan, mas lalong lalayo sa'yo si Shara. Parang ganun na mga bulong sa ating isipan. So, yun yung role ng super ego. Okay? It pertains to the conscience of the man. Okay? Or ito yung tinatawag natin na or it is represented by the voice of God, moral truth, commandments of society, okay, or good for the whole will of the majority, cultural conventions, and other rules. Okay, so yun yung pagkakaiba ng id, ego, and superego. Just take note, sa id, it talks about the pleasure principle, not considering the different consequences. Okay, so basta gusto nilang ma-achieve yung pleasure. And then, ego, it pertains to the reality principle or ito yung decision making. Okay? Ito yung nag-iisip ng mga consequences. And then, siya yung namimili. And then, nandito na yung super ego to make sure na mapupunta yung decision making dun sa mabuti is nandito yung super ego. Okay? Or the conscience or the voice of God na mention dito sa ating notes. Okay? So, that is the psychoanalytical theory of Sigmund Freud. So, in addition, nasabi po niya, to become normal, okay, for us to become normal, dapat balance daw yung id, ego, and super ego ng isang tao, okay, or the mind of the person, okay, in order to become normal. So, sabihin natin, sobra-sobra naman na pinapakinggan natin yung super ego natin. Sometimes naaabuso din tayo, di ba? Sobra-sobrang pagiging mabait, okay? Sometimes nagkakaroon ng abuses. And then nandyan naman, sobra-sobrang pinapanigan natin or pinapakinggan natin yung id natin, yung pleasure, okay? Paraging pleasure na lang yung pinapakinggan natin. So yun, nagkakaroon na ng selfishness dyan, violence, kung minsan hindi mo matanggap yung isang bagay na hindi mo na-achieve, okay? Hindi mo matanggap na hindi mo na-achieve, kaya anong ginagawa? Gumagawa ka ng mga illegal na paraan para lang ma-achieve yung bagay na yun. So that is the one that is being emphasized by Sigmund Freud, okay? Imbalance or disharmony make the individual neurotic. So neurotic in a way, nandyan ng mga medyo meron yung tinatawag natin na psychological disorders or tinatawag natin in a way na personality disorders, okay? So yun, kaya sa mga sa Philippine National Police recruitment nila, meron yung tinatawag nila na neuropsychiatric examination. So anong tinitest doon? Okay, the balance, okay? So the balance of the id, ego, and super ego mo doon, okay? So doon tinitignan nila paano mo ba pigilan yung sarili mo with regards to the achievement of pleasure, okay? Na with a limited circumstances. Okay? So, paano mo ba i-suppress yung feeling mo na okay? Or yung pleasure in achieving pleasures. Okay? So, yun, tinitignan nila yung balancing of the mind. Okay? The id, ego, and super ego of the mindset, okay, of your mind. So, yun yung isa sa natitest dun sa neuropsychiatric examination. So, sobrang imbalance doon, okay, makikita nila sa mga pagsagot mo na pinapakita mo sa kanila, makikita nila na imbalance, then that's the time they can say that you are a neurotic. They classify you as neurotic person, kaya hindi ka nila tatanggapin or ibabagsak kanila sa neuropsychiatric examination. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na pag bumagsak ka, isa ka ng abnormal na tao. Okay, no. Okay, so hindi yan yung ibig sabihin nun. Okay, so that is with regards to id, ego, and superego of Sigmund Freud. I should say. Okay, next one we have here the Gianel Index of Criminality. So, nandito, the criminal synthesis explains the reason why a person may commit a crime or inhibit himself from doing so under the following circumstances or conditions na mention na dito. Number 1 is need frustration. Okay, so the person before committing a crime is likely to feel unhappy, unsatisfied, resentful, or angry about something in particular or about in general. Okay, so frustrated siya. Hindi niya na-achieve yung gusto niya. Sometimes it leads to criminality. Okay, so sabihin natin, gustong-gusto niyang magpulis. Okay, dahil sa sabihin natin hindi siya tinatanggap to become a police officer. Okay, hindi niya gustong-gusto niyang magsilbi sa bayan pero hindi siya natatanggap. Sometimes yung feeling of frustration, okay, naiisip niya na lang na kunin in a way na dumaan sa illegal na mga paraan. Okay, so that's why it leads to criminality. Some of the frustrations na na-encounter ng tao sa buhay niya, it leads him to do illegal acts or do criminal things. Okay, number 2, nandyan yung sinasabi naman niya na internal inhibition. So, ano naman yung internal inhibition na ito? So, ito naman yung internal forces na pumipigil dun sa tao na wag gawin or wag ituloy yung kanyang ginagawa. Okay, so, nandyan na po yung tinatawag natin kanina, the conscience of the man, or yung kay Sigmund Freud, sinasabi niya, the superego. Okay, so, another internal inhibitions na meron tayo dyan is his sense of self-respect or yung prinsipyo niya. So, bawat tao may kanya-kanyang prinsipyo yan. So, yun, prinsipyo ko, hindi ako magnanakaw ng pera or kaban ng bayan. Mga ganong instances. So, yun, every time na merong temptation na lumalapit sa kanya, merong bribes na lumalapit sa kanya, and then tinatayuan na yung, naisip niya yung prinsipyo na yun, tinatayuan niya, that serves as internal or one of the internal inhibitions na meron tayo. Okay, so aside from the conscience, nandyan na yung principles of the man. Okay, another one, we have here the external inhibition naman. Kung sa internal inhibitions, dun sa isipan ng tao, okay, sa loob mismo ng tao, nandito naman sa external inhibition, nandyan yung external forces which prevent a certain person to commit a crime. Okay, so nandyan na yung laws natin, okay, yung mga batas natin. So since alam natin may batas, okay, it prohibits us or it tells us na wag nang ituloy yung binabalak natin. Sa batas, merong penalties na emphasize. Okay? So yun, makukulong tayo ng 10 years. Okay? Nakita mo, alam mo or nabasa mo na merong imprisonment of 10 years kapag tayo ay nagnakaw. So yun, that serves as an external inhibition for us not to commit a crime. Okay? Or external forces that leads us not to commit or prevents us from committing the crime. Okay? So yun, aside from the punishment na nandyan na nakikita natin, meron din yung feel of disgrace. Okay? Feel of disgrace kapag tayo ay nakita. Kapag tayo ay nahuli. Okay? Disgrace among the community. So, yun, mapapahiya tayo sa community. So, yun, kapag gagawin ko to, tiyak mapapahiya ako sa aking pamilya, sa aking community, neighborhood. So, that serves as also one of the external factors or external forces that prevent us of the crime. So, those are considered as external inhibition according to the Index of Criminality of Gianel. Okay? And then next one, we have here contact with reality. Dito naman, refers to the extent which persons can learn from his past experiences. Okay? So, yun, nakita niya, nagawa ko na ito nung nakaraan. Okay? Maling-mali ito. Okay? So, gumawa ako ng illegal na gawain, and then nakulong ako ng 1 year, and then ang hirap dun sa kulungan. Okay? Naiisip niya yung hirap dun sa kulungan na pinagdaanan niya nung siya ay nakulong. So, it will reflect to him, hindi na niya itutuloy yung paggawa ulit ng krimen since alam na niya kung gaano kahirap or naranasan niya gaano kahirap yung makulong or madala dun sa bilangguan. Okay? And then, nandyan naman, letter E is on situational crime potential. So, nandito, cultural opportunity to commit the crime. Okay? So, dito naman, pumapasok na dito yung tinatawag natin na opportunity. Okay? Or situational crimes. Wherein, merong opportunity na naibigay sa'yo. Okay? In order to commit. Okay? Nasabi natin, an example dyan, usually sa crime of theft. Okay, walang taong nakatingin sa'yo. There is the easiness or possibility to commit a crime or the easiness in committing the crime. So, yan, nagagawa mo yung krimen. Okay, or nasabi din dyan na isa yan sa index of criminality ni Janel. Okay, the opportunity that was provided. That is under situational crime potential. And then potential satisfaction, nandito naman yung balance of gain and loss. Okay, so wini-weigh dito naman tinitimbang natin. Okay, sabihin natin sa school, ang penalty ng cheating is -5. Okay, penalty ng cheating is -5. So since -5 lang yung penalty ng cheating, and then sabihin natin yung items ng exam ninyo is 200 plus, okay, 200 yung exam ninyo, and then -5 lang yung yung punishment ng cheating. So tendency mas mababa yung penalty kaysa dun sa satisfaction. So yung satisfaction mo dun maka-achieve ng higher scores, di ba? And then dito sa yung penalty na masyadong napakababa. Okay? So 5 lang yung penalty for cheating. So yun, maiisipan mong pipiliin yung gumawa ng illegal doon. Okay? So mag-cheat ka anyway, -5 lang naman. So -5 kapag nakuha mo yung perfect score na 200, -5, so 195 yung makukuha mo. Okay, baguhin natin yung situation. Sabihin natin yung penalty for cheating is automatic 0. Okay? So yun, are you going to continue to cheat? Okay? So yun, usually maiisip mo hindi na mag-cheat. Kasi pag titimbangin mo, kapag mag-cheat ako, 0 na ako. So walang kwenta, 'di ba? So papasok sa isipan mo, walang kwenta. So hindi na ako mag-cheat. Nagsasagot na lang ako. At least kapag sumagot ako ng maayos, baka meron pa akong makuhang 100. So at least hindi ako na 0. So parang ganun yung ine-emphasize dito sa potential satisfaction. And then those are the index of criminality according to Janel. Okay? And then next one we have here the mental disturbances as causes of crime naman. Okay, number 1 here is the mental deficiency. So mental deficiency sometimes it leads to, or it is also one of the reason kaya nangyayari ang mga krimen. Okay, or nakakagawa ng krimen ang mga ibang tao. Okay, so dito usually ang mga nakukumit ng mga taong to may mental deficiency na na-observe nyo. Okay, yung mga baliw sa lansangan, usually mga petty crimes. Bigla-bigla na lang kinukuha yung pagkain na naka-display doon sa store. Okay? So, yun pala, baliw yung tao. Okay? Or insane person pala yun. Okay? Or may mental deficiency. So, isa lamang yun. Aside from that, damage to property. Bigla-bigla na lang sinisipa yung gate ninyo or ginagasgasan yung kotse nyo. Okay? So, yun, malalaman mo lang pala, may mental deficiency pala yung tao. Okay? Baliw pala yung tao. Okay? Another one, unnatural sex offenses. Okay? So, sex abuses. Especially yung mga iba wherein usually naman nagiging victim sometimes, 'di ba, ang mga may mental deficiency, yung mga baliw na babae, usually binibiktima 'yan ng mga iba na tao na pinagsasamantalahan nila. Okay, yung mental deficiency niya. But sometimes also those gentlemen, okay, or mga lalaki na may mental deficiency, usually unnatural sex offenses naman yung nagagawa nila, ng aabuso sila ng mga bata. Okay? So, yun, those are some of the violations or the crimes that could be committed by a person who has mental deficiency. So we have here some kinds of mental deficiency na may bibigay natin. So meron tayo yung tinatawag nila na idiot. So hindi po pare-parehas ang idiot, insane doon sa mga imbecile and feeble-minded. So let us try to look on the difference of those. So sabi dito, an idiot person is a person whose case there exists mental defectiveness is such a degree that they are unable. So, hindi nila talaga kayang bantayan yung sarili niya, hindi nila kayang protektan yung sarili nila. Okay? It's because, yun nga, hindi nila kayang, mag-isip ng maigi. So, yung mentality nila is compared daw sa 2 years old person. Okay? So, just imagine, wala pa, at kung tutusin, parang wala pang isip yung taong yan. Okay? Kasi 2 years old, dyan sa 2 years old na yan, ilan pa lamang yung alam na yan, alam ng tao na yan. Okay, so yun, we classify him as idiot. So ito talaga kailangang bantayan ng mga magulang or kailangang bantayan ng kanilang mga relatives. Okay, and then we have here imbecile naman. So kung sa idiot at the age of 2, okay, dito naman at least medyo siya. Medyo kaya niyang kumain kasi 5 years old or 2 to 7 years old yung ages nung pag-iisip niya. Okay, yung mentality niya. Okay, so 5 years old, pwede naman yan kumain, di ba? Kaya niyang kumain mag-isa. Okay, so kaya niyang maghugas ng plato na yan. Mga 7 years old, mga 5 years old. So yun, mentality of a 2 to 7 years old, we classify him as imbecile. Pero yun, still need pa rin yan bantayan ng relatives. Okay? Kasi 7 years old, hindi pa rin natin alam kung saan napupunta yan, di ba? Okay, so that is under imbecile. And then feeble-minded naman, hindi naman magfo-fall to as imbecile. So ito naman yung hindi magfo-fall as imbecile or idiot. So somewhat, nasa na siya, higher than 7 years old yung pag-iisip niya. Okay, yun nga lang, mature yung katawan, pero yung pag-iisip niya, sabihin natin, 9 years old, 10 years old, okay, or 17 years old. So yun, maklasify natin as a feeble-minded. Okay, so long as hindi natin maihahalin tulad yung mentality niya sa 2 years old or 7 years old. Okay, he is not classified as feeble-minded. So, yun, they cannot be, siguro minor lang, or light yung guidance na may bibigay natin sa mga feeble-minded, pero yun, still may guidance pa rin yan. Okay, yun nga lang, at least, hindi gaanong major guidance yung ibibigay, kagaya dun sa idiot person. Okay, and then morally defective naman, actually hindi naman sa mindset or mentality. Ang lang talaga dito yung behavior. Okay, so usually they are coupled with strong vicious or criminal propensities. Yung behavior naman ng tao, okay, morally defective. Okay, siguro isang cause nito is because of dun sa wrong, okay, guidance during the childhood of this person. Okay, maling pagpapalaki ng mga magulang. Okay, or yung kinalakihan masyadong violente. Okay, so yun, akala niya or tumatak sa isipan niya mabuti yung mga gawain na yun. Okay, so they are morally defective. Okay, yung mga behaviors naman. Okay, pagiging violent. Okay, pagiging masyadong abusado. Okay, so yun, they are considered to be as morally defective only, but actually they are not mentally deficient. Okay, so that is the 4 classification under mental deficiency. Nadagdag lang yung moral defectiveness na yan. Okay, so those are the 4. And then next one, we have here schizophrenia naman. Okay, so meron tayo dito yung schizophrenia or tinatawag din yan na dementia precox. Yeah? So we have already talked about this kind of disorder during our previous discussions. Okay, so isa sa mga sintomas niyan yung flat effect na sinasabi natin, parang depressed. Okay, hindi masyadong nakakaramdam ng saya sa buhay nila. Okay, hindi ngumingiti. Okay, flat effect. Okay, so those are some of the symptoms of schizophrenia. Pero hindi natin sinabi na pag yung tao masyadong alone, okay, or gustong mapag-isa, or meron yung flat effect na hindi masyadong ngumingiti, okay, or hindi masyadong sumasaya, madalang na makitang ngumingiti or sumaya. So hindi natin agad-agad sabihin na they are suffering from a schizophrenia. Okay, so yun, that is under schizophrenia. Just take note, it is also called as dementia precox. Okay, and then we have here compulsive neurosis. So ano naman itong compulsive neurosis na ito? So this is the uncontrollable or irresistible impulse to do something. So an example na may bibigay natin dito, condition of compulsive neurosis is yung tinatawag natin na kleptomania. So yung kleptomania, sinabi natin, those are the persons who cannot control themselves from stealing. Okay? Hindi nila maiwasan yung sarili nila na kumuha ng mga bagay-bagay, okay, or magnakaw. So that is a condition of compulsive neurosis, yung tinatawag natin na kleptomania. Okay? So Next one, we have here the psychopathic personality. So, under psychopathic personality naman, ito yung nasabi nila na the most important cause of criminality among youthful offenders and habitual criminals. So, nandito yung personalities or characteristics ng isang psychopath na tao na nagagamit ko as example during our previous discussion. So, nandyan po yung lack of conscience, okay, or deficient feeling of affection. Okay, lack of conscience. Okay, so yun kapag sabi natin na nakasakit siya ng ibang tao. Okay? Na kapag inculcate siya ng injury dun sa tao, nasuntok niya. Okay? Or sabihin natin yung pinapatay niyang tao is pamilyado. Okay? So usually hindi niya nararamdaman yung konsensya na wag ituloy yung gawain niya. Pag pinatay ko itong taong to, may pamilya to na maiiwan. So, yun, walang ganun sa isang psychopath na tao. Okay? Lack or deficient of feeling. Kung meron man deficient feeling, okay, hindi masyado. Okay? Hindi niya masyadong nararamdaman kung ano yung nararamdaman ng ibang tao. Okay? Hindi siya marunong makipagdamdam. Okay? Lack of conscience and others. So, those are characteristics, only some of the characteristics na makikita natin in a psychopath person. Okay, so that is under psychopathic personality. And then epilepsy. So this is a condition characterized by convulsive seizures and tendency to mental deterioration. So sometimes it leads to mental deficiencies, or it leads to masisira yung isipan niya, magiging ma-classify na as idiot or imbecile or feeble-minded. Okay, so isang cause ng mental deterioration ay itong epilepsy na ito. So ano ba yung meron tayo dito? Okay, so actually nakikita niyo meron kayong nakikitang mga classmate niyo siguro na mga ganto. Usually during the previous years in your lives, okay, primary education and secondary education, kasi usually mga bata yung merong mga karamdamang mga ganito na inaatake. Okay, pero it is also present on adults. Okay, so paano ba i-first aid yung mga to? So actually, kapag nakakita kayo ng mga gantong tao, okay, epileptic na tao, okay, or ongoing nagkakaroon ng seizure, actually yung sinabi nila dyan na masasabi natin na first aid or paano natin i-handle yun is wag niyo pong labanan. Okay? Paano wag labanan? Okay? Baka mamaya nakita niyo yung classmate niyo nagkakaroon ng seizure or epileptic. Okay? Gumagalaw-galaw yung katawan, yung mga muscles niya nagkakaroon ng contraction. Okay? And then yun, wag niyo po siyang hawakan and then pigilan sa paggalaw niya. Okay? Mas lalong yun. Mas lalo niyo siyang masasaktan. Okay? Or hindi maganda ang may dudulot nun sa kanya. So, anong pwede nyo lang gawin? So, ang pwede nyong gawin dyan is to put a pillow dun sa may, kanyang likuran. Okay? Ang gawin niyo, i-secure nyo yung paligid niya. Okay? Or i-secure nyo yung sarili niya from injury. Okay? So, yun. Ilayo nyo kung merong mga bote ng, bote ng alak or bote na pwedeng makasagi sa kanya or pag nabasag or pag nasagi niya while he is on seizure, is pwedeng mabasag and then ma-injure siya, ilayo nyo sa kanya. Okay? In lahat-lahat ng mga bagay na pwedeng maka-injure sa kanya kapag nasagi niya while he is under seizure. Okay? So, yun. Sa ulo, bigyan nyo ng support and others. So, wag nyo siyang labanan. Okay? That is not advisable as first aid on those persons who are epileptic. Okay? And then yun, meron tayo yung types of epilepsy. So, number one po dyan yung tinatawag natin grand mal. So, ito na yung pinakagrabe. Okay? So, yun, the complete loss of consciousness. Okay? General contraction of muscles. And then, petit mal, ito naman yung mild lang yung contraction. So, pwede pa siguro ma-maintain natin yung tao or muna natin siya or ma-manage natin siya masyado ng maigi or ng mas madali. Okay, and then Jacksonian type, localized contraction of muscles with or without loss of consciousness. Okay, so dito meron naman yung instances na medyo conscious pa yung tao. So pwede pa natin siyang makausap, okay, or alam pa niya yung nangyayari sa kanya. Okay, Jacksonian type. Okay, and then those are the types of epilepsy. Okay, so still on the mental disturbances, okay, factors, nandito po yung alcoholism. So, sa alcoholism, usually ito yung pinaka-common sometimes why a certain person committed a crime. So, ito, sabi nga natin, ang tatamaan talaga Sometimes dito is yung isipan ng tao. Yung iba kasi hindi nila nilalagay sa tiyan lang yung alak. Sometimes pinupunta nila talaga sa ulo. Anong nangyayari? Affected yung mindset. And then sometimes dahil sa sobrang hindi na alam ang ginagawa, they committed a certain crime. Okay? So that is one reason, or alcohol actually disturb or tatamaan talaga dyan yung mindset ng isang tao. Okay? So once na natamaan yung isipan ng tao, nako, hindi na natin yan makausap ng maayos, or hindi na niya alam kung ano yung tama actually, or hindi niya ma-distinguish sometimes what is wrong and what is right, or kung tama ba yung ginagawa niya or hindi. Okay, and then we have here drug addiction. Ito naman isa sa ano din, it causes mental disturbances. Drugs, especially yung very common nowadays in our country is shabu. Okay, shabu and marijuana. And then yan, yung iba pa, meron pa yung tinatawag nila na heroin and others. Okay, pero talamak talaga dito shabu, kasi tinatawag yan na poor man's cocaine. Okay, poor man's cocaine wherein achievable or affordable ng mga users. Okay, hindi masyadong mahal. Kasi ang ibang drugs, magkakaiba din yung presyo na yan. Meron yung mas mga mahal. So, shabu and then marijuana yung very common sa atin. So, anong effect ng marijuana? Okay, usually is hallucination. Hallucination in a way na hindi na niya alam yung nangyayari sa kanya, yung reality. Anong nangyayari sa kanyang reality? So, yun, naiisip niya, naglalakad sa ulap. Okay, aside from that, naiisip niya na nasa sabihin natin, naglalakad sa ilog, okay, naglalakad sa tubig and others, so hindi niya ma-distinguish. So sometimes it leads also, yung feeling na yun, it leads also for them to commit crimes. Okay, so yun na deteriorate na yung mindset nila. Kaya nakita nyo yung iba na mga naka-high, okay, nahuli na nga, parang wala lang sa kanila, or kung ano-ano na yung sinasabi. It's because actually if you use drugs, affected dyan yung mindset mo. Okay, yung mentality mo also. Okay, and aside from the senses. And then next one, we have here the sociological causes of crime. So number one na po dito yung lack of parental guidance. Kapag sinabi kasing sociological causes, sociology, by the word sociology, the neighborhood, the environment that you belong. Okay, yun yung titignan natin. So, lack of parental guidance. Okay, so number one din yan na reason kung bakit nagiging isang criminal ang isang tao, or nagiging violent yung isang tao. Okay, so wrongful or wrong guidance. Okay, or lack of parental guidance dun sa bata. Okay, and another one, broken homes and family. So, yun, it is related na din dun sa kanina, lack of parental guidance. So, broken homes na walang ng magulang, so walang mag-aalaga sa kanya. Okay, walang titingin dun sa mga, dun sa paglaki niya. Okay, so broken homes and family leads also to lack of parental guidance. Okay, and then enduring status of neighborhood, nandito naman sa labas ng bahay. Okay, so dyan yung mga kapitbahay mo, so sabihin natin, napakaganda or napakabuti ng environment mo dun sa bahay nyo. Pero yun, kapitbahay mo naman, mga basagulero, okay, or mga immoral na mga bata, okay, those violent kids naman yung kalaro mo, then sometimes it also contribute, okay, pwedeng manaig pa rin dyan yung neighborhood, okay, or yung attitudes na nakikita mo dun sa neighborhood, especially kung walang parental guidance. Okay, so that is the third sociological causes of crime as mentioned here. And then the fourth one, bad association with criminal groups. So nandito na yun, siguro nakapasok ka na sa school, okay, usually nandyan na yung mga gang, fraternities, and then yung mga gang usually na involved sa mga crimes, then that is one causes of criminality also. Okay, association with criminal groups. And then lack of recreational facilities or for proper use of leisure time. So nandito na papasok yung pagiging tambay. Okay, sometimes or bakanting oras. Okay, dahil sa sobrang wala kang ginagawa, nababagot ka na sa bahay nyo, okay, naiinip ka na, puro bahay na lang, okay, or aral. Sometimes it leads you to go to makipag-associate sa mga criminal groups, okay, sa mga barkada hanggang sa kung saan-saan ka na mapupunta. Okay, so yun, sometimes we need recreational activities. So sometimes ang ginagawa ng iba para makaiwas sa droga is yun, recreational activities or recreational facilities. So anong ginagawa? Okay? So, isa sa mga program na ginagawa ng mga ibang barangay, okay, ng mga non-government offices or mga public officials natin is yun, na gumagawa ng mga liga, okay, nag-organize ng mga liga, okay, para i-encourage yung mga youth na mag-basketball, okay, aside from liga, nandyan naman yung mga ibang sports, okay, boxing, okay, so ini-invite natin yung mga bata na mag-boxing instead na mabakantehan sila or yung oras nila is ipunta sa pagkikipagbarkada, then they can have a chance na pumunta na lang sa mga sports, okay, so one way to maximize our recreational activities is to engage in sports. Okay? So, that is one reason of yung wala tayong sinasalian na mga sports or hindi natin masyadong nagagamit yung recreational facilities natin. Or wala tayong recreational facilities, then that could lead for us to engage in criminal groups also or associate with criminal groups. Okay? And then lack of employment poverty. So, isa rin ito sa mga nasasabi nila na reason kung bakit talamak ang krimen dito sa Pilipinas. Okay, lack of employment, poverty. So, since walang trabaho, walang livelihood, pinipili na lang na gumawa ng krimen. Okay, para lang matustusan yung pangangailangan sa parang araw-araw. So, those are only some of the sociological factors or causes of crimes. Okay, so all in all, yun lang din po yung mga different factors that we can have or that was presented there. Okay, yun yung mga pinaka-common. Okay, geographical factors, psychoanalytical factors, okay, sociological factors, biological factors, and others. Those are only some. Yung mga nabanggit natin, those are only some, but actually napakarami pa. So yun, that ends our video recording for this session. And then I hope that you will take down or you will keep those in your mind. Okay, so that ends. Thank you for watching and then see you again next time.